Okay, we're here. Erie Otters 49th overall draft pick, rookie goaltender Nolan Lalonde. Nolan, how's it going?
Going good, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So starting off, one thing that I really would like to touch on is Chris Droulis. So I see you're good friends with him. He has Down syndrome, and in the summer I saw an article about that. Can you bring us a bit through yours and Chris's relationship?
Yeah, so we met at the rink actually. He's my assistant coach's brother-in-law last year. So we just we got talking after games, and it ended up kind of becoming a pretty tight friendship. And even today, we still talk to each other every day. And we actually just went to Tim Hortons yesterday night to get a coffee together. So I mean, yeah, it's become something that's pretty special to me. And he's a guy definitely that that's been really helpful to have around just to keep my mind away from hockey and kind of just hang out with.
Yeah, really getting noticed nationwide. How relieving is that to see that your actions get noticed for such kind favor? How does that feel?
It's obviously really cool. I mean, I didn't expect it at all. We got a text one day, and so yeah, it's obviously really cool to see that. I mean, it's just something that it shows that hockey's can do a lot more than just on the ice, right? So it's pretty special.
Yeah, definitely. I know it'd definitely be very special with having that tight bond. Do you have a good Chris story?
Oh, geez. I do have some good ones. Yeah. There's one, we were at a France game the one day, and so Chris, every first period, walks and gets a popcorn, but the one game he didn't end up coming back for a while. Well, he was standing in the one tunnel watching the game until the whistle, and then finally came back up about halfway through the period. We asked him where he was, and he was like, "Well, I thought the Frontenacs were going to score." So he wouldn't come back up to his seat. So it was pretty funny. So that's probably the best one I've got.
Yeah, I know that would be pretty funny, as you could tell. And speaking on the OHL draft, what were your emotions really going through your head when you got drafted?
Yeah, it was a whirlwind for sure. You don't really have too much time to think. Just kind of look down a pick before, and the phone call was from Erie, Pennsylvania, and that's how I found out I was going. And it was really, really incredible just having my family there with me. And it's still kind of unbelievable to this day, to be honest with you.
Would you like us to bring us through kind of the draft day and what kind of was going through? Like, were you talking with your agency a lot, or?
Yeah. Pretty much. I had no idea I was going to go to Erie. So I got a text a couple picks before, but other than that, just sat there in the morning, watched the draft on the computer like everybody else, and just kind of wait and see. That was pretty much how my day went. I didn't really find out until right before.
I know you were talking with a bunch of teams going into the season, getting that recognition, knowing that you're gonna be selected by an OHL team. How honoring is that?
Yeah, it's a huge honor. It's obviously something you work towards for so long, and to have people recognize the hard work that you put in and the effort that you put in is really incredible. And it's a huge honor to be selected by any of the organizations in the OHL and to play in such a great league.
By seeing the success last year between you and your goalie partner, Ethan Morrow, probably the top goaltending pair in the league, how well did it feel that you could have someone with your high caliber of skill level to keep on pushing you through the ups and downs?
Yeah, it's great. E and I are pretty tight friends too, and we train together in the off season, and it's just that we push each other every day, and it's a healthy competition, right? Since we're friends, and we want to see each other succeed. So that was pretty cool, and he's definitely a guy that it's really helpful to have around.
I know that you guys would really work a lot, as you just said. Feeling just knowing when Ethan got drafted, how did that feel? Because you guys both got drafted, you could experience that bond together. How was that?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I tried to call him right away, but his phone was blowing up. So finally I got to talk to him a little bit after that. And it was pretty cool to hear from him. And he's having a great year right now with the Wellington Dukes. So it's pretty cool to see how well he's doing. And obviously he's playing unreal right now. So yeah, it's awesome.
Speaking on the OJHL, I know you were with Georgetown for a bit. Want to bring us through that?
Definitely a good experience to learn kind of from the other junior guys that were around us. Nathan Torchia and Oliver Troop were the other two goalies when I was there, and they were huge helps to me. Just kind of figuring out what it's like to kind of play at the junior level, and understand how much work goes into it, because it's a lot. So yeah, we had a great coaching staff, and it was an awesome experience to learn.
So right now you have a very long off season due to COVID-19. The OHL is currently the only CHL league not running. Want us to bring us through a daily life, like a day in the life of your off season?
So right now, work out at 5 days a week at 8 a.m. After that, probably it depends on the day. I skate usually 3 times, 4 times a week, and just try to keep that up. And then after that, schoolwork for the rest of the day. So basically just trying to do anything I can right now to get better and to stay prepared, because who knows when it's going to be announced, and hopefully it's soon, but just stay prepared if there's a season.
Definitely, yeah. Well, Corey Cooper, you trained with him probably most of your life. I was talking with Paul Drew, the Charlottetown Islanders goalie coach, and he worked a bit at U17 Team Canada camp, and your name came up, and he was like, he's one of Corey Cooper's guys. And how well did it feel to be able to be honoring by working with such a high caliber goaltender?
Coop he's incredible. I've been with him since I was 6 years old, and he's been someone to, anytime you have a question to ask, it doesn't matter, he'll answer it, and he's definitely helped me get to where I am today. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, to be honest with you. It's pretty cool to hear him talk and say stuff like that, and obviously he's been incredible so far, and I see him like, yeah, he's awesome. That's the only word that comes to mind is amazing or awesome.
Sort of helps with my next question, because I was going to ask, is there a certain goalie coach or coach that helped you get through? Would Corey Cooper be that type of guy who would help you get through the ups and downs? If you ever had a question or needed to know how you get through something, is he the guy that you go to?
For the most part, yeah. Definitely all the other coaches that I've had have been awesome too. But yeah, Coop's definitely been a guy that I could lean on when I needed to. And he'll tell it to me as it is. If it's not going well, he'll tell me. And if it is, he won't tell me. So he's been a guy. And then Jason Barron, since the draft, has been someone I've really leaned on through this process too. He's the goalie development coach for Erie. So he's been incredible too to have as a resource. And those two guys have really helped me get to here today.
A question I asked on my first podcast to 2 other QMJHL players here in the OHL, I asked them what sport would they go to if they couldn't play hockey. And I was thinking, would you want to go with the Trudell and that's and go basketball? Or no, you're a golf guy? What would that answer be?
I don't know. I'm not too good at basketball or golf. I'd probably say baseball. I've played it for a while. I played it when I was growing up, so it's something that I'd probably try to go back to. I don't know if it would go as well as hockey has, but yeah, I'd probably play ball.
There's so many good stories from baseball because my brother played with you. I want to bring us through the Eoba Championships, because I remember you guys won that.
That was a lot of fun. I remember your dad was one of our coaches, and yeah, that was awesome. I just remember how much fun we had and how tight our team was, and it was awesome. The one story I remember is getting run over. I think we were playing Clarington or someone. I got run over at first base, but that's about all I remember other than winning it. It was awesome.
I definitely know that story because I think I was actually at the game, and such a good team and some great stories. But I want to mention another story. So for the listeners, me and Nolan grew up near each other, and we go to a school named Trudell, and there's a few nets. And I'm not sure if you remember when we were playing basketball one day, and 2 random kids came up, and we convinced them that you played NCAA, and I went to a private school. Want to touch up on that story a bit more if you can remember it?
For sure. I do remember that now as you say it. That was pretty funny. But yeah, I think these guys just started talking some trash, and we ended up I think we just said it as a joke, and they believed it, so we went along with it. That was pretty funny.
I think I remember us 1v1 and them talking some crap, then we ended up winning it. That's why it was a really special episode, and it was so great that I could get you on because we shared so many great stories. And what the days going golfing at Amersview and the
Yeah.
short game too. So many good stories for people who don't know the movie Short Game. We pictured us recreating another one at a golf course in Amersview, Ontario. Now going on to it, there's two draft picks above you. I'm pretty sure for Erie. Did you communicate with them much?
Yeah, after the draft, actually, we have a group text, so we were all on that, and I ended up actually being on the team with the 8th overall pick, Spencer Solva, at the under-17s. So we got to know each other a bit through there, and then Lucas Ross, I've just talked to on Zoom calls with the team, and they're both great guys, incredible hockey players. I remember playing against Spencer at the Silver Stick, and he's an unbelievable defenseman. He's fast, he moves the puck well, just extremely good at what he does, and it's pretty cool. And obviously to know that they're great guys off the ice too is awesome.
Now that you got drafted to U17, well, virtual, you got an invitation. Unfortunate for guys like yourself and people who most likely would have made the team. In Summerside, PEI, actually, where I live, like Summerside and Charlottetown, it would have been a great experience. Even getting invited to the U17 virtual Team Canada, like goalie camp. Want to bring us through that experience?
For sure, it was really cool. It was obviously an honor to be invited. We pretty much did anything we could to learn and to kind of become a team, just in case we did end up having a tournament, because at that point we weren't sure what was going to happen. So yeah, a lot of team building stuff. We played some games over Zoom, which were pretty fun. And basically we tried to prepare and do as much off ice stuff as we could. The only thing we really didn't do was practice as a team. So other than that, yeah, it was an incredible experience. It was really, really cool. It's something different, obviously, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I know there's always so many good bonds over hockey. And last year you played with Junior Gales, Midget AAA. What was someone that you really bonded with in that experience?
Blake Ellsworth is a guy, I've played with him for a while, but he's been a guy definitely that we've had some funny stories. Outside of hockey, we go fishing every once in a while together in the summer, and we've had some pretty good stories with that. And so he's been a guy that I'm pretty tight with from hockey, and it's pretty cool to see how that relationship develops over years and where it is today.
Now, I want to know, by you mentioned that story, who would be catching the bigger fishes, you or Blake?
Definitely Blake. I'd like to say I would, but no, he's definitely way smarter and knows a lot more than I do.
So talking to Erie, as you mentioned, the goalie coordinator, kind of getting brought into the junior scene now. Hopefully in a regular year it would have been a bit more, but next year we'll be in it all the way.
Yeah.
How surreal was it being brought into the junior scene?
It still is to me, like today, to think that, just a few years ago, these guys seemed like they were, untouchable. They were pros to me when I was growing up. So it's pretty cool to see. And it's been a lot to take in. I mean, obviously, even though we're not playing a regular season, we've been able to do a lot of development over Zoom and over, just kind of learning how to do different things to get better. And it's been pretty cool to see the amount of detail that goes into it is the biggest thing.
Next year is your NHL draft year, and definitely going into that, hopefully you can get a season so you can show off your skills. What things do you think you might do to prepare for the draft?
It's definitely a lot bigger of a process than the OHL draft, that's for sure. But really, just honestly, as cliche as it sounds, try not to think of it and just play. That's really the best advice that I've gotten from a lot of people that have gone through it. And that's basically what my goal is, to just kind of play and see what happens.
You said, don't think about it. Do you have a message for any goalie who's trying to get to the caliber that you are at?
You have to just enjoy it and love it, because ultimately that's what's going to keep you going at the end of the day. Again, it's a very cliche answer, but you really do have to love what you do and take pride in it. It's something that if you're not having fun, you're not going to want to do it. And in turn, you're not going to want to get better. So yeah, I'd honestly just say have fun and love what you do.
I love that answer, and I really want to bring up a topic. Your dad, Rob, cheering for the Philadelphia Flyers, because as we're on the Zoom call right now, I
Yeah.
see your Eric Lindros jersey in the background, and I want to bring up this story when we met Claude Giroux. How jealous was he?
Oh, he still bugs me, but I still have the hat up in my room that he signed. I still like to poke fun at him, and he'll give it back to me pretty good. But he's got the Lindros jersey, so I don't know. We're pretty even with that. But yeah, he thought it was pretty cool.
Speaking on Philadelphia, would they be a team that you would want to get drafted by, or is there a certain favorite team that you have in the league?
I'm a Chicago Blackhawks fan, but honestly, anyone, like, it's the NHL at that level. It's doesn't matter. Every team's incredible and every team's good. So it would be a dream come true no matter where. But yeah, Chicago is my favorite team. So I'd have to say that.
Speaking on Chicago, I want to touch on the success of Patty Kane. Been pretty phenomenal so far. It looks like he's at his prime right now and really just came back. It's been pretty surreal.
He's been a lot of fun to watch. He's such a dynamic player, and I don't know how he pulls off some of the moves he does, but it's incredible. Like, he's so fun to watch.
NHL topic, is there a certain NHL goalie that you model yourself as on the ice?
It's kind of an off the board one. A lot of guys will say Carey Price, but mine's Philip Grubauer for the Colorado Avalanche. Grew up watching him in Kingston, and as I got older, he does a lot of things that I try to do and I try to implement into my game. He's very patient, and that's the biggest thing that I take away from him and that I try to emulate, I guess. But yeah, so he'd be the guy that I'd probably say would be the guy that I try to model my game after.
A 1-minute phone call with Philip Grubauer, and you could ask him any question. What question would that be?
Probably something about how good is Nathan MacKinnon in real life. That would honestly be probably the one question. I know it sounds funny. I'd probably want to ask him a goalie question, but no, I'd probably ask him about McKinnon or Rantanen and how good those players are in real life. To be honest, that's the fan coming out of me.
I know we talked a Christmas or two ago about Adam Fantilli.
Yeah.
How high caliber of players have you seen play, and who do you really think is the best?
Oh gosh, I've never played against any of those guys like Shane Wright or Adam Fantilli, but I've seen them both play, and man, like, it's honestly too hard. They're both incredible hockey players, and everybody at that level. Ty Nelson, I played spring hockey with them. They all do everything at such a high level, but at the same time so controlled and calm under pressure. It's there's a reason they're in the talk to be the best at their age and at the level that they're at. So yeah, it's a tough question to answer.
Really impressive. Last year, Shane Wright was playing as his underage. Well, not last year, but like in the show, I got go one game, and he scored like 2 goals and assists that game. It was pretty impressive. And now reversing that over to what Connor Bedard is now doing for the Regina Pats. What do you kind of think of that?
I saw the goal he scored the 3 goals he scored the other 2 nights, and yeah, wow, that, like, incredible. He's the shot, the stick handling, the skating, it's all there, and he's been really, really fun to watch as well. I've been able to watch one of their games, and yeah, the way he plays hockey is pretty cool.
That's really a gifted talent. And has there been a really impressive goalie that you've been able to train with?
I'm pretty lucky with the guys that I'm able to skate with here in Kingston. There's a lot of hockey guys, and Hayden Levine's been one guy that I skated with all summer. Last summer, he played at the University of Michigan. He's playing with the Stockton Heat in the American League, and just the level that these guys do everything at. I think I've said it way too many times, but it's so high, and it's the attention to detail that they have is pretty cool. Danny Taylor's another guy, plays in the KHL. Those 2 guys have been incredible to learn from and incredible to skate with.
You know, I actually been on the ice with Danny once as he helped out at my father's hockey school, and we have a stick of him. It's really impressive seeing the process that they always go through. And thinking 2022 Olympics are coming up. Do you think your name's going to be up there in the 2026 Olympics, or?
Who knows? I mean, obviously, it's, hopefully, it's a goal. It's something to work towards. But right now, just trying to focus on this season. But yeah, obviously, it'd be a dream come true to play for Team Canada at the Olympics.
Your dad likes Philadelphia Flyers, and you must like them a bit. What do you think of Carter Hart?
He's really, really good. To be able to play at that level at 22 years old and just stay so calm and composed every game, it is really cool to see. We actually, the last game before everything got shut down, we went down to Philly and watched a game, and it was Carter Hart and Tuukka Rask playing. And I remember watching both of them in warm-ups, and just how fast they really are in real life is pretty crazy. So yeah, he's unbelievable. He's really good.
As you're talking about that, that's probably two of the best goalies on the scene of goaltending in the NHL. Did you experience a moment in Philly that you would like to share with us?
Probably the one save that Tuukka Rask made, and I think the whole building, Philly's pretty loud. I know you probably know that just from being a Pittsburgh fan and the rivalry they have, but their fans are pretty loud, and the whole building went silent when he made that one save, and it was spectacular. It came across full splits, made a glove save on them, and it was surreal that the building was just silent. You could hear a pin drop.
I personally always loved watching Tuukka Rask, so it must have been pretty surreal to see someone play at that high skill level. And touching on that, have there ever been a really nice save that you made that just pokes in your head if you're talking about this type of a conversation?
Probably there was one, I think 2 years ago against Richmond Hill on 2-on-1 and pass went across, and I somehow got a glove on it. I'd probably say that'd be the first one to come to mind. But yeah, there's not really, I don't really remember that too many, to be honest. So yeah, I'd probably say that one.
Recently, a very sad scene in hockey is Timur Fazudinov. Not sure if I can say his name right. What's your recap into that situation?
Scary. I mean, obviously, like, you never want to see that happen to anyone, no matter what. It's really sad to see. Obviously, it's an accident. It's an accidental play. Guys goes to dump the puck in, and yeah, you never want to see that happen. And it's really, really sad. And it's terrible that it had to happen, and that it happened the way it did.
That's very emotional, as we speak on, because a couple of games ago, I want to say, right before the QMJHL, like, my dad's team got shut down. A puck got wired towards their bench, and he got hit not even half an inch above where Timur got hit. So I can just imagine how the roller coasters of emotions would be for his family, because I know even with some scary thoughts going through my mind, bringing to that situation. Now we want to get a bit more onto the happy side now. Thinking about post-game and pre-game rituals, do you really have one?
I have a routine more than a ritual, I'd say. I do the same warm-up every game, but again, like, it's not set in stone. I'd like to think I'm somewhat normal. I know a lot of guys wouldn't say that, but yeah, I don't really have anything that's like specific other than I put my left skate on first, but that's just a habit, I guess, too. So that'd be about it.
Like us to bring through your warm-up, because I want to hear more about that.
It's probably about 60-40 with foam rolling 60%, and then like dynamic warm-up and movement with being the other 40%. So just pretty simple. Just try to open up the hips as much as possible, and then warm up the lower body with the foam roller and the rest of the dynamic stuff. And then as well, like, just some hand-eye stuff with the racket balls to kind of be ready to go as soon as you get on the ice. But it's pretty basic. There's nothing really too crazy I do in it that's different than any other guy would. A lot of band work with the like elastic bands that go around your knees. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty normal, like similar to a player would have probably, but just a lot more focused on the hips.
Name right now on my next question doesn't pop into my head, but I know there's a little goalie in Kingston that you helped train a lot and hung out with him. What's his name again?
Will Landon. He's a good buddy of mine. My mom teaches with his mom, and he's pretty funny. So no, he's a pretty good little goalie, honestly. I can't take credit for any of it. probably have to give credit to Mike Murphy there and Coop, but yeah, no, it's pretty cool to see, the younger guys, and because I remember being that kid, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of it.
How real does it feel being able to mentor someone like that? Because I know you got mentored by plenty of goalies growing up. How does that feel?
It's really special. I mean, obviously it's again a huge honor, and it's something that you don't really realize how special it is until it happens. And growing up, you're like, these guys are so cool, and they're this, they're that. But yeah, when you're in those shoes, you don't really feel it, and you just kind of like, it's just something that you do, and it's a lot of fun.
Is there someone who reached out to you to thank you for your help with them, or?
For my birthday, they wrote me a card, their family, and that was pretty cool. And there was a photo that we have of the two of us. The one time I was out helping out at a camp, and that was pretty cool. That was a pretty special thank you from them. And obviously it was something they didn't need to do, but it meant a lot.
Your birthday wasn't that long ago. I think it was in February. You got your G. How well did it feel getting your G1? Yeah,
being able to drive last year was crazy, and then being able to drive by myself this year, it's even crazier. Yeah, I honestly, every time I drive, I'm like, oh, I look to the side and there's no one in the passenger seat now. So it's pretty cool. It's the freedom's nice, and to be able to drive to the rink a little early if you want, or stay at a little later if you like, just kind of have that freedom, have that flexibility is nice.
I gotta know, are you working right now, or do you have a certain job that you're doing, or?
But right now, I worked in the summer at Canadian Tire, and then right now I've been waiting to hear something about the season, so I might need to start working soon to pay for gas. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of waiting. But eventually, if they say there's not going to be a season, or once our season ends, I'll work.
So definitely, I know your parents put a lot of time and effort into your hockey. How important are they to you and your success?
Huge. I mean, everything they've done for me in the past, like probably 13 years of playing hockey has been it's really special. Again, I'm at a loss for words. I can't really put it into words how much it means to me. They've allowed me to kind of chase a pretty crazy dream that a lot of people would say is nuts and is never going to happen. And my parents have always believed in me and wanted to see me succeed, it means the world to me. And I don't know how I could ever thank them. I know you say you could pay them back, but honestly, I don't know if that would be enough. Like they've done so much, and it really does mean a lot.
What's one thing that you always say to them to show your thankfulness?
Again, it's going to sound cliche. Thank you. And just kind of telling them how much it means. Like, and honestly, a lot of the time it's just a hug, like after a game or something like that. It's the little things that matter. I think in our family, it's something that we believe in. So that's probably how I'd say that I would. But
the little things mean most, and would definitely really mean a lot, even just a thank you or a hug. And we'll wrap up the interview soon, but I have a couple more questions. Any pregame meal that you have to always have?
Not really, no. It changes again with the bus and being on the road, but one would probably be pasta. That would probably be something that'd be my go-to if I could, would be pasta and chicken or chicken and rice, something like that.
Always have huge knobs on their stick. I know when my brother was a goalie, and even we would have huge knobs. Are you a big knob guy or not really?
No, I actually use like the 1/2-inch tape too, so there's not a lot there to hold on to. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, trying to like think. It's not very. It's probably only that, just a little bit, so that my hand doesn't fly off the end of my stick when I go to play the puck. But not a ton.
It's on the off season. You're into TikTok, running on your treadmill, and making some day in the lives. Want to bring us through your emotions when you're making those TikToks?
Bored would be the biggest emotion there. I had nothing else to do. We were in full lockdown at that point. I couldn't even skate, so yeah, I had nothing else to do at home, and there was no school going on, so I got into making TikToks for a bit, and that train has passed, but it was fun while I did it.
Okay, well, now my last question. I've been waiting to ask this the whole interview, but what's your best golf score?
course, in Kingston, you know what it is, but 78, I think, last year, 79, which is not 8 or 9 over par there. That was my best, but yeah, I wish it was lower, but hopefully this summer we can get under that. But yeah, I'd say 78 or 79. I'm not too sure. It was 8 or 9 over.
What tees would you be playing at there now?
Blues, and then when the guys that are a lot better than me need someone else to play with them, blacks, which is the farthest back, and that never goes well.
Definitely. I think you said a while back, my favorite player was always Ricky Fowler. I was always dressing up like him. Is yours Justin Thomas? I really can't remember.
Yeah, it'd probably be JT or Rory. Those would be my 2 guys. I mean, everybody likes Tiger too, so I'd probably say JT or Rory would be my 2 favorite.
Last week, Tiger got severely hurt and really sad. Hearing that news, how did you feel? Because I know I wasn't the happiest because he's a golf legend, and it was definitely pretty upsetting.
It's scary again. Like, it's something that you don't expect it to happen until it happens, and it was pretty sad. My dad's a huge Tiger Woods fan too, so we kind of just sat there in disbelief, watching the news, and there wasn't too many words being spoken. So it was sad, and I'm happy to see that he's doing well now, but it was really scary at the time.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for hopping on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, bud. Take
care. No problem. For sure. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.